as girly as a bearded man can be. What a weird way to start today. Friday, November 11th, Veterans Day, tie game. I was up there, shoe drive-ins on Tuesday, and we're on the combo schedule. Things are a little bit thrown off. Let's see. There. Ooh, I have 2 files I'm going to have you download. One is the map from yesterday, because I think that map's going to come in handy. The Tales of the Underworld is the one I sent out yesterday via Remind. But if you want to actually download it and find it the real way, excuse me, you can get to it here. It also has the stories of the people who got tortured. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a chance to get to those stories with me telling them. I feel the same way, but time. We're kind of running out. We're done Greek mythology in like a week and a half, so I feel the same way. Curse time for keep moving. We have to move on to other. I have other fun things to teach you. The year's not over. And then we're going to get to one about Prometheus and Pandora. Now, the good news is Prometheus and Pandora, I should be able to get to those stories today, so it shouldn't be a major issue, but that way at least you'll have copies of them. Also, the map is different than when you guys saw in class. I redid it after 3rd period. I took my 4th period, my prep, and I went through there and redid the whole mappy thing. And so now it looks all special, and I added colors and special things, so it looks like that. So instead of the line drawing, I apologize if you don't like my fancy new map. If you're like, I like the old silly line draw. I was trying something different and thought I'd throw it in there. And so it's the same idea as yesterday's. I just tried to make it a little bit more updated. The other one was just an old map, and this is an updated map. Questions as far as the death of people from yesterday? Yes.
Were those the only people who got...
There's other ones. Those are the stories I thought that were the most fun. I'm sure, I know there were other people he threw down there, but I just like those stories because one of them is the guy that killed his son and tries to feed him to the gods. One of them is the guy that tricks Hades and locks him in the closet. One of them is a guy that macks on Hera right in front of Zeus. And then one was these 50 girls that go and kill their husbands the night of their wedding and stuff like that. So they made sort of fun stories, so that's why I chose those. Yes?
Where's the map of the Underworld at?
It's on the Tales of the Underworld.
Oh, it is?
You just gotta do this thing of scrolling.
I didn't know that.
Amazing.
We never said that.
Bomb!
Mine's not. Which one?
Yeah, you have to go back and refresh the page.
Oh,
And so, you got me. Did you go to the regular class one? And then you hit refresh, and then you make sure you're on the actual mythology page, and then you got me. I don't know what you want me. I mean, it's the same map, it's just not as fancy. Just going back and,
I like this one.
there you go. See, problem solved. And to here. Our story for today is going to deal with poor choices. Ish. Alright, so humans are now created. And we have wintertime has now been invented. And with the whole humans and wintertime, the problem is we humans don't have fire. So when winter comes in, the humans get all whiny and complainy because we start freezing to death in the wintertime. So we complain up to Zeus. We shake our little fists. Zeus, we're freezing and becoming human sickles. Help us out. And Zeus goes, no. And his reasoning is 2 parts. He's in the process of talking to Prometheus. And Prometheus is like, listen, dude, why are you not giving humans fire? They're dying down there. Fire will help them out. Zeus goes, 2 reasons I can't give humans fire. 1, there's a prophecy that says the world will one day be destroyed by fire, and everything's going to burn down, and I'm a little worried about this whole fortune-telling thing, and so because of that, I can't give humans fire. The idea of giving humans fire is like giving a 2-year-old a lighter and say, go play in that toilet paper factory. Nothing good's going to come from it. So he says, because of that, I don't give humans fire. Prometheus goes, well, what's the other reason? And Zeus goes, the other one's a bit more selfish. When I get really upset, I like going down to earth and stomping on the humans. And I like to go all barefoot and feel them squish between my toes. Prometheus goes, dude, you have issues. He goes, yeah, but here's the issue. If we give humans fire, they're going to learn how technology works. And they're going to learn how to start melting down metal and making it sharp and pointy. And they're going to start making weapons like swords and spears. And then when I go to stomp on them, they're going to stab me in the bottom of the foot, and it's going to hurt my feet. I like them in their little wooden huts. When I stomp on them, it crushes and makes my life happy. He's like, man, you have problems. And Zeus goes, yes, I do. So Zeus refuses to give humans fire. Prometheus decides, I'm going to go behind Zeus's back. I disagree with his thinking. So one day, he waits till Zeus falls asleep, and Prometheus sneaks down to earth with a giant burning torch. Giant burning, there we go. Prometheus shows up with a giant burning torch. And he finds this little human village. And he goes, hey, humans, come here. And all these humans come running up to him. He says, you see this burning torch? And they go, whoa, you're a mighty God. And he puts the torch down on this beach. And he goes, come closer to it. And they gather around like, thank you for the warmth. And they put their hands out to it. And he goes, now watch this. And he reaches over and picks up this big handful of sand and throws it on the torch. And the fire goes out. They're like, you're a horrible person. And he goes, no, wait. You and you, go grab sticks. And these two humans run over and they come back with 2 sticks. And he goes, now watch this. Give me the 2 sticks. And he grabs the 2 sticks from him and he goes, now watch this. Shaka, 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 shaka. Shaka, 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 shaka. And fire comes out of the ends of the sticks. The humans get like, oh, magic sticks. He goes, no, anyone can do it. He's like, you, take these sticks and rub them together. And the guy's like, okay. Thwack, thwack. He's like, no, you're an idiot. You rub the sticks together. He's like, okay. Shaka, 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 shaka. Fire comes out of the end. He's like, ah, magic God sticks. And he throws them on the ground. He's like, no, anyone can do it. All you do is you take 2 sticks, you rub them together, and fire comes out of the end. So all the humans start picking up sticks. Like, let me try. Shaka, 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 shaka. Yay! Shaka, 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 shaka. Yay! And dropping little fire, and they start going and playing jokes. And they're like, hey, turn around. Look that way for the next 20 minutes. Shaka, 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 shaka. Yay, you're on fire. And they have a great time. Prometheus, all right, now you guys know how fire works. They go, yes. He goes, tonight, before you go to sleep, run in different directions, find new villages, and show them how to make fire with the fire sticks. And they all take off running in different directions. Whee! And they go show other villages. Shaka, 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 shaka. And all these other villages then spread out and tell other people. And all night they run and tell other villages how to go out there and do the shaka shaka magic sticks. Next morning, Zeus wakes up on Mount Olympus, and he does a stretch. And he comes out onto the front porch of Mount Olympus. He's like, I'm up so early. Look, there's stars up in the sky. It's so pretty. And you can see the stars down on the land. And the land stars are... Why are there stars on the land? Hermes! Snaps his fingers, and Hermes comes running in. He's like, do those look like stars to you? Hermes goes, yeah, those look like stars. He goes, can you go check those out? Hermes is like, all right, back. Goes running back. He's like, yeah, those aren't stars. Zeus goes, what are they? Hermes goes, that's fire. Humans are down there making fires everywhere. And Zeus goes, the world's on fire? And he goes, no, they're doing this thing with sticks. They go, shaka, 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 and fire comes out the end of them. Zeus goes, wait a minute. Only one person is smart enough to come up with a way to make fire and at the same time go behind my back. And that person is?
Prometheus.
Prometheus. Zeus is like, Prometheus! And calls Prometheus in. And Prometheus comes in. He's like, hey, couldn't help but notice. Look down at the earth, and there's fire everywhere, and they're doing some weird magic sticky shaka shaka thing. Any chance you have something to do with that? Prometheus goes, yeah, that was me. You're welcome. Zeus goes, what? He goes, you're welcome. Now you don't have to worry about killing off the humans because they get whiny. They have fire. You're very welcome. Zeus goes, yeah, that's not the way it works. What I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to torture you because I've already warned you once. Because what was Prometheus' first warning?
He helped him.
Helped him with sacrifices. And he goes, that was your first warning. You don't get a second one. So what I'm going to do now is he grabs Prometheus and drags him up to the top of this really tall mountain. When he gets him up to the top of this tall mountain, he then chains him to this mountain, arms and legs in different directions. He goes, now guess what? We are so high up on this mountain that when Apollo drives the sun chariot by, it's going to burn off your skin and turn you into bacon. And it goes by and goes, crispy, 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 and burns the skin. Prometheus is like, ugh, that's awful. Zeus goes, wait! I'm not done. There's more. At night, you're so high up that the snow falls, and it's going to freeze your skin and turn your skin into ice cubes. Prometheus is like, ooh, that's pretty bad. Zeus goes, wait! I'm not done! Plus, every day, in the morning time, this giant eagle is going to land on you and eat your liver while you sit there and scream, and there's nothing you can do about it. Prometheus is like, wait, are we done now? He's like, yeah, now I'm done. That's all I have for you. He's like, yeah, that's pretty bad. He goes, that is going to be your torture and your punishment until the end of time. Prometheus is like, no. He goes, wait, unless you do one thing. Prometheus goes, what? He goes, I will free you and forgive you if you do one thing for me. He goes, what is it? Zeus goes, I want one question answered. If you answer this one question for me, I'll forgive you. What's the question? Well, Zeus, as leader of the gods, has one fear. Prometheus has one special ability. What's Prometheus' special ability? What is Zeus's one fear?
Getting overthrown.
So what's the one question going to be?
Who will get overthrown?
He goes, if you tell me what child overthrows me, I will forgive you and everything will be okay. Prometheus goes, oh, okay. No way am I going to do that. Because Prometheus is not an idiot. He knows as soon as he gives up this name, what is Zeus going to do? Kill that kid. He's like, I'm not going to give up a name, so you can go kill this kid. I'd much rather you torture me than go and kill some other random person. So he's like, oh, fine. Okay, how about this instead? Don't give me the name of the kid. Instead, give me the name of the mother of the kid who overthrows me. That way I'll know. Prometheus says, oh, okay. Still no way I'm not an idiot. Because what's Zeus going to do to her?
Kill her.
Kill her too. He's like, you're just going to kill her too. Zeus is like, oh, fine, you caught me. He goes, you know what? I'm going to leave you here. And he does. He leaves Prometheus on this mountain, and every day he burns and he freezes and he gets his liver eaten out by an eagle, and he stays there for thousands of years in Greek mythology. He is eventually saved, but it's not until the very end of Greek mythology, and he is saved by one of Zeus's sons. Is it the son that overthrows Zeus? You'll have to wait till we get to that story. But Zeus is not done. He's still angry because he's like, all right, humans learned how to make fire, and I did not want humans to have fire. Part of it was punishing the guy who gave humans fire. The other part is I want to punish humans for getting fire because that was something they were not supposed to have in the first place. The problem is he can't just punish humans because if he comes down there and starts slapping them around and torturing them, they're going to end up not doing something that he needs them to do. And that is? Sacrifices. He's like, so I have to torture them without them knowing that I'm torturing them. So he comes up with an idea. And he calls this idea Operation Pandora. It's a long, torturous idea. So at the end of it, he gets to torture humans, and they're going to have no idea Zeus was behind it. Step one, he goes and talks to Hephaestus. He goes, Hephaestus, I need something from you. Hephaestus goes, what is it? He goes, I'm going to have you create the perfect human. Don't bring her to life yet, but I'm going to have you create this perfect human. I need her to look like the most beautiful person possible. And Hephaestus is like, oh, that's easy to do. So Hephaestus sculpts this beautiful woman out of the magic clay and makes her look like who he thinks the most beautiful woman is. And that is Aphrodite. It's the best Aphrodite I have. And so makes this fake little person and brings her, not to life yet, but brings her so that she's all formed and brings her to Zeus. And goes, here is the little human, as perfect as I can make her. And Zeus is like, ah, she's adorable. Then he takes this girl around to each god. And he goes, each Olympian, here's what I need you to do. I need you to create some special gift for her. Something that you think makes humans perfect. And make her the perfect version of it. So Hera comes up with forgiveness. And she was like, I will give her the gift of forgiveness. No matter what happens, she'll be able to forgive other people. Hermes comes up with quick-wittedness. And he's like, I will give her the ability to always be smart and quick on her feet. And Athena comes up with the idea of being wise and smart and listening to good advice. And so each god comes up with a gift and gives it to her until it gets to Zeus's turn. And for Zeus, he comes up with a slightly different idea. And he creates this little kernel. And he creates a kernel of curiosity. This little nugget of pure curiousness. And he shoves it deep into her brain. And crams it deep down into her brain area where it disappears. He then sprinkles the magic dust on her and brings her to life. I'm a real girl. And she dances around. They call her Pandora, which in Greek, Pandora means many gifts. Pan meaning many. Dora meaning small Hispanic girl that plays with monkeys. Dora meaning gifts. So her name actually means many gifted because all the gods gave her gifts. Once she's brought to life, Zeus takes her down to the creator of the second race of humans. And who created the second race?
Prometheus.
Takes her down to Prometheus. He's like, Prometheus, did I ever thank you for creating the second race of humans? And Prometheus is like, no, all you've done is yell at me and make me cry. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I have something for you. And he steps back and Pandora walks in. He goes, this is Pandora. And Prometheus goes, hubba, hubba. He goes, I agree. Hubba, hubba indeed. This is your gift. You get to marry Pandora. Prometheus goes, thanks. He's like, what can I do for you? Zeus goes, nothing, buddy. Nothing at all. Except one thing. And Zeus goes, what is it? He goes, someday I'm going to need a favor from you. And on that day, I need you to do this favor for me. No questions asked. Does that sound like a good deal? And Epimetheus is like, that's it? I get to marry her, and all I have to do is one favor in the future? He's like, that's it? Epimetheus is like, sounds like a good deal. And Zeus goes, all right, I'll see you lovebirds later. And he takes off, and Pandora and Epimetheus get married, and life is good. They live together for a few years, till Zeus begins part 2 of Operation Pandora. Part 2. He has this big box created, like the size of a washing machine. And he goes to Hephaestus and he goes, hey, I need you to create a special lock for this box. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, here's what I have you do. On this box, it needs to be something where once I activate it, if the box is ever opened, it can never be closed again. Can you do that? Hephaestus is like, that's easy. Yeah, I can definitely do that. He was like, all right. So he goes out there, he makes the special lock, puts it on there. Zeus picks up the box, goes around to all the gods on Mount Olympus, and he goes to each god and goes, all right, here's what I need from you. I need you to create the most horrible, awful, nasty thing you can think of, and turn it into ghost form, and put this evil ghost into the box. Like, all right, that sounds like fun. So each god comes up with some horrible ghost, and they put it in. Hera comes up with jealousy, and puts it in there. Ares comes up with being a bully, puts it in there. Dionysus comes up with being drunken, and puts it in there. And each of them comes up with some horrible thing, and puts the ghosts into this little box, and he traps each one in there. Finally, Zeus gets to Athena, and he goes, Athena, dear, I need you to come up with some horrible thing to put in this box. Athena goes, why? He goes, what? She goes, why do you want a box full of nasty, horrible, evil things? She's like, you know, just to have. Just do it. She's like, okay. So instead of putting something awful in there, she doesn't trust Zeus. So she decides to go the other way and create something good. So instead of an awful thing, she puts in hope. And she puts this little white ghost of hope into the box. She's like, yeah, I put your awful thing in there, you're good to go. She's like, all right, good. And he shuts the box and activates the lock. Picks it up and takes off running. Runs all the way down to where Epimetheus' house is and bangs on the door. Epimetheus opens the door. He's like, hey, what's... Zeus kicks in the door. Runs in, slams the door behind him, throws the box down. Epimetheus is like, what's going on? Zeus goes, I just ran all the way. Hey, Epimetheus. He's like, remember a couple years ago when you and Pandora got married? Epimetheus is like, yeah, I definitely remember that. You remember I said there was going to come a time when I need you to do me a favor? He goes, yeah, I definitely remember that. He goes, today's the day of the favor. And Epimetheus goes, all right, what do you need? He goes, here's what I need. Do you see this box? He goes, yeah, I see the box. He goes, 3 things. 1, I need you to hide this box somewhere in your house for me. He goes, okay, I can do that. He goes, 2, never open the box. Under any circumstances, do you open this box? He goes, okay, I can do that. He goes, 3, do not tell Hera that the box is here, and do not tell her I came here. You understand? He's like, yeah. Hide the box, don't open the box, and don't tell Hera. And he's like, yeah, that's it. Oh, and one more thing. I'll be back in like 9 months. Is that okay? He's like, sure, okay, I'll hide the box till then. He's like, oh, thank you, buddy. And Zeus takes off. As he leaves and shuts the door behind him, he begins his evil laugh. Operation Pandora is in effect. Epimetheus takes the box, like, okay, that's kind of weird. He pushes it, and pushes it over to the side in the front hall. A couple hours later, Pandora comes home, walks into the house. Hey, honey, I'm home. Why is there a giant box in the front hallway? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, what's in the box? I don't know. Can I open it? He's like, yes. Wait. No, don't open it. She's like, why? He's like, all right, I remember now. Zeus gave it to me. She's like, why did Zeus give you a box? He goes, I don't know, but I do know 3 things. She's like, oh, that's a start. He goes, 1, we have to keep it in our house. She goes, okay. He goes, 2, don't open the box. 3, don't tell Hera that the box is here. She goes, well, that's kind of weird. She goes, well, how long do we have to keep it here? He's like, 9 months. He's going to be back in about 9 months. She goes, okay, that's kind of weird. She's like, fine. And she takes up a pile of clothes that she had for laundry, and she throws it on top of the box. When she throws it on top of the box, the box makes noise. She's like, whoa, dear, your box is talking. He's like, really? She's like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. She's like, oh, husbands. She's like, fine. So she does her best to try to ignore it. But every day, as she walks past the box, it continues to make noise. And she goes, oh. And she tries to forget about it, but she can't. Something keeps pulling her back to the box the more she tries to forget about it. What pulls her back to the box?
Curiosity.
That little nugget bing, of curiosity keeps work in the back of her head. And as she keeps thinking about it, the days go by, a week goes by, and then suddenly she realizes what it is. And she figures out what's in the box. Zeus gave it to them, said to hide the box, said don't open the box, and said Hera can't know what's in the box, and the fact that it's going to be here for like 9 months, she has an idea of what's inside. And what does she think's inside? A baby. Or a lady who's pregnant, and Zeus is trying to hide it from Hera. She's like, oh my God, I'm part of a kidnapping scheme. She's like, that's not going to be good. She's like, and it's been a whole week. No wonder the box is making noise. They're probably really hungry. So she decides to do a good deed. And she is going to feed whoever's in the box. So she goes and makes a sandwich. Makes a butter and jelly sandwich. Because those are delicious. With ham. Butter, jelly, and ham. And takes her butter, jelly, and ham sandwich over to the box. And she's like, hey, are you a person in there? And he goes, she's like, I think that's a yes. She's like, I'm going to give you a delicious sandwich, but you can't come out. You have to stay in there. She's like, all right. And she turns the lock on the front. She's like, all right, I'm going to throw the sandwich in now. And now we have to time out. The magic phonical machine. Captain Brovicast Construction Company, how may I direct your call? Okay, not a problem. Bye. I totally spaced that they rearranged our schedule today. So I don't have fourth period prep right now. My prep is not now until afternoon. So I completely forgot about the fact that we have a whole new schedule. If you want to, when this is over, I can talk during prep period or during the passing period. All right.
No, because he needs to go on to where he needs to.
That's what I was figuring too. So email me and we'll figure something out.
Email me and then.
All right. Not a problem. See you, Zach. All right. Oh yeah, she's throwing the sandwich in. Opens it up, throws the sandwich in, and then slams it back down. When she does, she's like, okay, there's your sandwich. But before she can finish it, the lid comes flying back open. She grabs the lid, slams it back down. The lid, she's like, no! And the lid will not stay shut. She starts screaming, and from inside of it, out come flying all of these evil ghosts start flying out around the room. She freaks out. She grabs a broom. She starts chasing them around. She's like, bad, evil ghosts! It keeps trying to, it just goes right through them because they're evil ghosts. And they start flying around like Ghostbusters. They start flying all around the room, and then out through the windows, into the world. Up until this point, we did not have evil in the world. This was the first time evil gets introduced to the world. And it all goes out there. And the thing is, who is it the humans blame for introducing evil to the world? Pandora. Zeus gets away scot-free because Zeus goes, it's not my fault. I told them not to open it. That woman did it. And women get blamed for introducing evil into the world. And it becomes overwhelming for the humans who have never had this evil before. And they get ready to give up. And they're like, we're not going to make it. We're just going to die. It's not worth it until one thing makes it all worth pushing forward. And that one thing is? The little ghost of hope comes out. And it flies around. And you're like, no, evil, bullying, awfulness, teachers, I can't. Tomorrow's another day. And it flies through you. And the idea was, much like Ghostbusters, when the little evil ghost would fly through you, it left like a little residue. So if the bully ghost went through you, you'd feel a little bullying. If all of a sudden the greedy ghost went through you, you'd feel a little bit of greedy. If the hope ghost went through you, you'd have hope left in you. And they believed that was where evil came from, was from these ghosts flying around and through you. So now, Zeus gets revenge on humans, but he does not get blamed for it. And that's where we get teachers. Now, we're going to take a look at On the blue sheet, I know a lot of you have gone on there and copied down all of the answers from online, which is fine. But there's a few little stories I didn't get a chance to hit that I want to make sure I run through and hit with you, because just having the answers is not going to make you smart. Like this one, the god of sworn oaths. Did we ever get to who the god of sworn oaths was?
No.
It was when the god decided to go from being a god to a river that she also became the god of sworn oaths. Who is that? And the way it was thought, and she becomes the river, was when she became that river, Zeus said, because you are so loyal to me and you never turned away, I'm going to make you the god of promises and sworn oaths. Here's what that involved for them. If you were a human and you ever used the Styx's name in your promise, Broviac, I promise I'm going to get my homework done. Whatever. I swear on the river Styx. If you broke a promise using Styx's name, you were legally allowed to be killed. It was one of those things where as soon as you broke it, the next day, I don't have my own, and I just stabbed you right there like, legally binding. It was perfectly fine. If you were a god and you promised on the river Styx and broke it, you were punished worse than death. What's worse than death? The thing worse than death is they made you become a human for 10 years. And they thought that was the worst possible thing that could happen. So any time in a story that someone promises on the river Styx, it means they are not breaking that promise. They are guaranteed to have it happen. With the 3 fates, I think you guys have those down. I think we've done them enough times to make sure. What the first fate's name is? Her job is? Now, the only name you're probably going to have to remember is Clotho. The other 2, it's got letters in it. You know, just know the jobs. I'll be happy. The second one's name is? Lachesis. What's her job?
She measures it.
I put the third one.
And the third one?
Baba.
And she is the one that cuts the string. And then I've had question 60 pop up, because if you missed that one, the world was not shaped like a ball. That's ridiculous. How was the world shaped? Nice enough. Like a big flat plate. And the sky was shaped as a bowl on top of it. So basically a giant bowl on top of a plate. But in the middle of this plate, there was a giant body of water. This body of water has a name, and it was named that for a very specific reason. If you can think about taking our plate and then turning it this way so you can see it, so it's like a donut, you had water in the middle, and then you had land all around it, and then you had the edges of the world that went out into space. Around the body of water, you have Spain, Italy, Greece, Turkey, Northern Africa. That body of water was called? Do you guys know it? Mediterranean. That's the Mediterranean Sea there. There's a reason why it's called the Mediterranean Sea, because it's made up of 2 Greek words.
Meta and
Terran. You are correct.
Oh, I know somebody's name.
Do you guys know what Medi means?
Middle.
It's like
Nicely done. It means middle. Terran, earth. Nicely done again. So it was called the Mediterranean because they thought it was in the middle of the earth. Now, not middle of the earth like the filling in the middle of the donut, but middle of the earth like in the middle of the circle. So it was called the middle of the earth sea because they thought it was in the middle and the land went all the way around it. So that's where you get Mediterranean from. Other questions just to make sure you have. This one's popped up. Why did Hades need permission to take Persephone?
Because it's on Zeus's land.
On Zeus's land, because he could not go and take someone from an area that he did not control. If the girl he wanted to steal were a mermaid, where would he go?
Poseidon.
He would have to go to Poseidon. What else we have? Ooh. When Hades goes and steals Persephone, Apollo sees it happen and does nothing to stop it, even though he sees this girl being kidnapped. Why did
Hades had Zeus's permission.
he had to have permission to do it? He doesn't want to go and get in the way. Monday, we'll go on with more Greek mythology with our last week and a half. Hey, Peter's the last one to leave.